Very much, Huldah. It's a big pleasure. How are you feeling today, the first day in the capital of Minnesota?
I am super excited. Today is orientation day for new legislators. And so to be able to be standing in this Capitol as an African immigrant woman, it is a tremendous honor. And I'm over excited right now.
You have had all this period of excitement. You have become a media frenzy person. How do you explain that?
It's that resilience. I don't know about the whole media frenzy. I will let those people do what they do. But I have to say this moment couldn't have come if it wasn't for the fact of, just being resilient, being consistent, and having a really strong team behind me who believed in my vision for this community, for this state, to be able to give me that opportunity to stand here as the elected representative-elect, Huldah Hiltsley.
But I still want to say the media. How is the media playing as a role? What do you think of yourself in Kenya? Everybody's talking about you. How did that happen?
I've been so busy doing interview after interview. I haven't really paid attention into what's going on. I'm just hearing things. But I'm hearing that there's a lot of celebrations, especially in Nyamemiso, where my family comes from. And to be honest, it's humbling, because I still think that I'm that little girl from that little village somewhere in the middle of Kenya, and now I'm in the spotlight of this media frenzy. And so I'm still trying to really appreciate the magnitude of the moment.
So coming back to how you reached here, tell me a bit about it. How did you come to this way? Did you have an idea from when you came to the United States, or what happened? How did you get here?
So getting to this moment, honestly, is just a testament of the struggles that my family has gone through to be in this country, fight the immigration system, being very close to being deported, and having, a politician, a senator, who was a senator of the people, Paul Wellstone, fighting for our family's case, and finally us winning our green cards, and then getting our citizenship, and then now here, 22 years later, running for political office. So it's definitely a testament of the commitment and the sacrifices that a lot of people have made for me to be here.
We can say now you're going to become a role model for the young generation, for the young girls in Kenya or here in America. What do you have to say? What do you think about that?
It is still surreal, right? But my hope and my belief that if I can make it to this point, if I can be, a role model, as you say, to somebody, to remind them that it is possible, that, our wildest dreams are possible, then that would be something that I would look back and say, wow, I've made a difference in somebody's life.
During our talk, we have been talking is that the immigrants here in America, especially from Africa, you have a challenge. They don't come together to bring and help. You didn't get that. Give us some more word. What do you think about that? What's to be done?
So I think the biggest challenge that for our immigrant community is that we come here and we settle, right? We think that we have arrived. And also, I don't blame our community. It's a lack of knowledge, not understanding and knowing how this system works, not knowing, what the value of this system and what that can bring into their lives. And so I sit here and I take that mantle, right, to educate our community and say, hey, there's also power when we get our people at the table, right? When we get our people to talk about, this is what's important to us. And because that's the whole essence of politics, right? And being a leader in that space, making sure that you're fighting for the voices of those people who might not know what's possible. And the fact that I had a little taste of what's possible and the resources that are out here, it is my job to go back to my community and tell them, hey, there are resources here. This is how this system works. Let's work together to mobilize and make sure that we are also taking a piece of the pie.
So what are you going to do for your community, for Minnesota, as the first woman, Black African from Africa, from Kenya?
From Kenya, well, that is an honor that I don't take lightly, as being the first Kenyan born, right? A lot of people have been like, well, I don't know if she's the first Kenyan because we had Obama, right? That was
But the woman.
the historical. As a woman, you're right. I'm the first woman. You're right. I am the first woman, and that carries a lot of responsibilities. And I don't want to be the last. Like Kamala always says, I'm going to be the first, but I'm not going to be the last. And I'm hoping that this moment right here is a testimony that you can come to this country, work hard, take care of business, know your craft, stick to it, be consistent, and get to where you want to be.
I know it's too early.
Yes.
Have you an agenda? What are your first?
My agenda, yes. So I'm excited about championing a couple of things. My constituency, obviously, the people who elected me, Senate District 38A, that is Brooklyn Park and Osseo, they're worried about public safety. So I want to champion policies that really promote a community-centered public safety policies. I want to champion options, housing options, and making sure that our renters are protected, renters' rights. I want to champion workers' rights, where we have strong unions that are really supporting the community and making sure that we do have, livable wages. We do have, protected workforce. And of course, small businesses. We want to make sure that the Senate District 38A or Senate District 38 in general, has a thriving and robust small business economy. Right now, the small businesses in my district are run by immigrants, right? African immigrants. So I'm super excited to come in and look at what's possible and then go back to my community and say, hey, this is the resources that are out there that are going to help you keep being consistent and also grow your businesses. So I'm definitely looking forward to championing small businesses.
So what message do you have how to tell the other colleagues? There were a lot of Africans who did not succeed. Your campaign reached the climax. What message do you have to them for the next time, or what to do?
My message is simple: be consistent. Commit to this space. I ran for Senate the last election cycle. We put in a great fight. We lost, but I take that loss as a learning opportunity, right? So I took all the lessons that I learned from the Senate race and brought it to the House race. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned is utilizing data, right? And so this time around, we definitely made decisions and we tweaked our strategic plan based on the data. And so I want to tell our people, keep going. I know that my brother Sam Mwangi lost just by a few, I think it was like 46 votes, right? And I look back and I go, you are that close and this is your first time running? My brother, keep going. So I want to encourage our people. We need more of us to run. There's enough space in this legislature for more people of color, especially immigrants, because that's the voice that is missing.
I can't leave talking about now. We have a new government in Washington. Trump is back.
Yes.
What do you think about that? How are you guys going to work with him?
At the end of the day, this is a part of our democracy. There's moments you win, there's moments you lose. And so at this point, especially me being a Democrat, it is a bittersweet. I'm still grappling with the idea of a Trump presidency, administration. But at the end of the day, we're here to serve the people. It didn't matter whether you are Democrat, Republican. We are here as a legislator to serve the people of Minnesota. I'm not going to Congress. And so my focus is going to be making sure that we have protections within the state of Minnesota to make sure that the residents of the state of Minnesota are protected no matter what's going on at the national level.
And as Democrats,
yes,
they're starting to pointing fingers. What are they saying? Do you have any clue what they're saying? What went wrong?
You can sit here and dissect this thing, right? But I'm not going to dwell on what went wrong. The milk has already been spilled, right? I'm not going to sit here and try to collect the milk. What I want to focus is on how do we move our country forward with the current administration, because that's the administration of the day. And we have to find ways to work with them, to compromise. Yes, I know the word compromise in politics is a very dangerous word to use, but we are here to make sure that we compromise so that we can move this country forward.
And finally, what message do you have for your countrymen, Kenya, who are so eager and happy to see you here?
I am so honored to be a Kenyan American. And to our people back home, continue celebrating because this is a historical moment. And there's nothing wrong with taking a moment to acknowledge the magnitude of the moment. And so I keep on telling everybody, however you want to celebrate, celebrate because this is a moment that belongs to us. It's our time and we are here and we should be proud.
And for the future, after the celebration?
After the celebrations, let's get back to work. There's a lot of work that needs to get done. I was just talking to a couple of members of parliament in Kenya, and I told him, you know, I'm ready to collaborate. Let's figure out what's possible. I can't promise anything because I don't know what's possible, but I am here excited to hopefully be a partner with our members of parliament there to talk about what does a development look like? How do we move our country from where it is, how do we move Kenya from where it is right now to where it could be? Because Kenya has unlimited potential and it's up to our leaders to do right by the people of Kenya, and we can do that when we are honest with one another and when we're addressing, you know, really serious issues that are plaguing Kenya like corruption and lack of, you know, strong leadership of moral ground, right? And so let's talk about those conversations, have honest conversations, because that's when we actually will be able to move our country, Kenya, forward.
Thank you very much, Huldah, and wish you all the best in your new endeavors.
Thank you so much, my brother. Good to be here.
Thank you.